Hey everyone, how you all doing today? And welcome back to another meta guide. So we are in the Ultra League, so the Great Ultra and Master League. Begin tomorrow. Let me know in the comments down below which one you plan on playing and which league you've been enjoying this season so far. So let's just go ahead and dive right into things. So for the S rank, we have Corviknight. Corviknight is actually really good. Unfortunately, I don't have a good one for the Ultra League, nor do I have the XL. So you're not going to see it on my team anytime soon. Certainly not this season. Who knows about next season? But I guess you could walk them to get XLs. But yeah, it's really good. I mean, it has sand attack, has payback. You know, for all the ghost types, you probably do want payback for the ghost and psychic types this meta. And then sky attack or Iron Head. Iron Head is the legacy move. But yeah, I mean, really strong Pokemon. And then we have Grumpig. Grumpig was the newly buffed Pokemon with Psywave. So Psywave, Dynamic Punch, and Shadow Ball. Really, really powerful stuff. Lapras is another great one. I would go Ice Beam over Skull Bash in the Ultra League. I know I've seen Skull Bash, especially in the Great League, but I kind of like Ice Beam for the Dragon types in the Ultra League. So if you have a good Lapras, that's the move I would go with. It is Legacy, something to keep in mind. But it's worth it if you have a good one for sure. And then we have Feraligatr, a Shadow Feraligatr. So the Totodile Community Day had happened by the time you're watching this video. So maybe you have a good one. Of course, that won't help you with the Shadow, but you know it's still really strong. Shadow Claw. Yeah, I mean Ice Beam again. It all depends on your team. You could go Crunch. Most of the time I see Ice Beam on it, and then obviously the Hydro Cannon Community Day move, and then of course Shadow Claw is the fast move. Dusknoir was buffed. A lot of buffed ghost types. Astonish is a great move for the damage. Hex, if you want to generate energy faster, is really good too. Then we have Giratina. So Giratina has been around since the beginning of Ultra League, and it's just as good as ever. Pretty bulky Dragon type. Then we have Jellicent. Jellicent did receive the Hex buff this season, so pretty good stuff. If you want to consider running Jellicent, I've hit Legend with Jellicent multiple times years ago. Before this is a while ago, of course. But now that it got buffed again, I could see myself doing it again. We'll see. And then we have Primeape. Primeape. I said this in the Great League meta guide. Kind of difficult to run fighting types, but I feel like Primeape in the Ultra League is pretty good. Especially, I mean, it has Rage Fist, so it is doing super effective damage towards the Ghost types. It gets to it fast. Same as the Psychic types, but obviously it is weak to the Psywave, so something to keep in mind. I personally like Close Combat as a second charge attack on Primeape in the Ultra League, but I know it also has Ice Punch as well. And then we have Galarian Weezing. This Pokemon is fantastic. I love Galarian Weezing, or the Shadow version. I have a rank 1, actually, the Shadow Galarian Weezing, but you could run the regular one as well. Now, definitely want Sludge, and then for the second move, you could run Brutal Swing, you could run Play Rough, you could run Overheat. You know, I mean, all moves are definitely viable. And then we have Zygarde Complete. Yeah, I mean, not much to say. I've used this plenty of times in the past. Definitely fantastic for sure. The A rank, Runerigus. I think this is a pretty good one. Runerigus, I think is pretty good. It does have that Rock Tomb, so something to keep in mind. Really, really good stuff. And it does get to the moves. Yeah, I mean, pretty fast with the Shadow Claw. Of course, Shadow Claw, of course, is a great move. It has Sand Tomb as well, so Sand Tomb, Rock Tomb. Also has Shadow Ball. And then we have Steelix with the Thunderfang. Steelix, another great one in this meta. Look at all the water types. We also have Corviknight as a flying type. So, actually pretty good Pokemon. And then we have Clefable as a fairy type. Registeel. Registeel, even though the Zap Cannon was nerfed once upon a time, a few seasons ago, whenever it was nerfed, still a fantastic pick, and it's still bulky. And it still gets to the moves fast. Fortress is actually pretty good because Fortress also has Rock Tomb. So, if you have a good Fortress with Volt Switch and Rock Tomb, it is a pretty good Pokemon to use. Then we have Malamar. Malamar, of course, with the cheaper energy to get to Foul Play. Foul Play is cheaper now. So Malamar is definitely fantastic. Drapion, always been a great save swap. We all know how great Drapion is, or Shadow Drapion, right? And then we have Gastrodon, probably my favorite Mud Slap user. I would say so. I still use it. I've used it this season. Galarian Moltres. Galarian Moltres is a really good flying type, especially with all the ghost types. Sucker Punch is so good. All those ghost types, not going to appreciate Galarian Moltres at all. And then we have, for the B rank, we have Cobalion. So Cobalion, pretty good. I mean, Cobalion is a pretty good Pokemon. It's generally always been pretty good. But it's going to struggle more so, I guess, because of the ghost types. The fighting types do struggle. this season, I feel like, but it's still good. Definitely if you get it on good alignment. Credilli, I feel like this should have been ranked a little bit higher, maybe in the A rank, maybe even in the S rank, because Credilli, I have a hundo, it gets to 24.99. I believe that's the rank 1. I think so. I mean, it's level 50, so it should be, right? And it's fantastic, man. I've climbed close to veteran this season with this Pokemon in Ultra League. I love it. I think it's a great save swap, especially with the fighting types a little bit more difficult to run. You don't see them as often. It's so good. It's so good. And then we have Cresselia. Cresselia used to be higher ranked, but it kind of fell because of the ghost type buffs, I feel like. But still not a bad one because it is really bulky. And then we have Universe Stunfisk. I don't know if I put this a little bit too high on the list, but I think it's okay. I think it could be useful. And then we have Florges. Florges did receive Trailblaze this season, so you can boost its attack. I like Fairy Wind, Trailblaze, Moonblast. I really like Florges. I really like it in the Master League, but I still think it's good in the Ultra League. Okay, and then we have Blastoise. So Blastoise with Rollout is really, really strong in this meta. Hydro Cannons, you get to them really fast. I have to learn the counts in some of these new ones, but I think it's 4-3-3 to Hydro Cannons, if I'm not mistaken. But some of the new ones I do have to learn the counts on because, when I'm battling, even against Duststorm, I'm like, wait a minute, it's already at the move? And I just haven't been, I guess, paying attention too much, but that's okay. Then Bombardia. Okay, so Bombardia, I may have gotten carried away with this one, but I do like it because, the Sucker Punch, it got buffed this season. It also has Fly. What is the other move? Is it Rock Tomb? It might actually be Rock Tomb. I'm not sure. I have to double check on that. But I know it was pretty buff this season. I think I did get carried away with this one, but still, it's pretty decent for what it is. They're trying to help out Bombardier a lot. Maybe you should put this in the other options, but that's okay. And then we have Virizion. So Virizion is actually pretty good. It really depends, because if you're going up against ghost types, obviously, Leaf Blade is fine. I guess Dusknoir, I guess it's neutral, but obviously the fighting type attacks are resisted. Giratina, it completely walls Virizion unless you have Stone Edge. You have to watch out for Psywave users, but Virizion is still a good Pokemon. You have to watch out for Galarian Weezing, but yeah, I feel like it fell a little bit, but it's still not a bad one. Then we have Mandibuzz, so Mandibuzz super tanky, of course. Other options, we have Annihilate. So Annihilate as another fighting type user, but with all the ghost types, Annihilate is a ghost type and has counters, so counters resisted, right? Obviously, if you're going up against opposing ghost types, you're not going to have a good time. We've obviously seen this in the past. Tentacruel is one of my favorites to use in the Ultra League. I feel like it nerfed a little bit, just because of, again, the ghost types, the poison jab is resisted. Still really good. It's still a good one, but I feel like it has a little bit less play, and even with the Psywave uses, I've noticed this season. And then we have Regirock, so Regirock gets to Stone Edge really fast. Talonflame could be another pretty decent Pokemon to use as well. It's always good. The Talonflame and Skeledirge are always good Incinerate uses. Especially, I actually saw a lot of Skeledirge this season with Torch Song. So Torch Song is definitely, it boosts the attacks. It's definitely pretty good. It boosts the Incinerates. We're talking about Skeledirge now, but Tapu Fini is another okay one, but I don't see this as much as I used to. Gliscor has Sand Attack now, so it's okay. Goluk, another Mud Slap user. It also has Dynamic Punch, which was buffed this season, so not too bad, not too bad. Dragalge, Aurorus. I did want to include Swampert, because Swampert I feel like does have some play, a lot of play in the Ultra League because of Sludge. And I do like Sludge on this Pokemon. However, you could also still run the traditional moveset with Earthquake as well, because if you run Sludge, you really have no play against Giratina, but that's okay. Obviously, or I guess Ghost types in general. Well, Jellicent, Hydro Cannon is still neutral towards Ghosts like Dusknoir, but anyway, it's pretty good Pokemon. And then we have Skunk Tank. We're going to go ahead and move on to the solid team option. So for the first team, I put Florges. You could replace this with a different fairy type, like Clefable if you want to. And then you have double Psywave users. The double Psywave users, not really going to appreciate Mandibuzz should you battle it, but Florges is going to love Mandibuzz. Lapras also has play against Mandibuzz, I guess, because of Ice Beam. But yeah, I think Florges did receive a pretty good buff this season. Next up, we have a team I hit Legend with in the past, Zygarde Complete, with Tentacruel and Gastrodon. You could replace the Tentacruel with the Feraligatr. Even Jellicent, I think, could work if you want to still keep it with Double Water. I think that could work as well. Or even Credilli, I think, could be pretty good Although you'll struggle to, your ABA weak to Alolan Sandslash, but you have to battle an Alolan Sandslash. You might not see one, right? Even this team was also weak to Alolan Sandslash in the past, and I still hit Legend with it. That's if you see it in the lead. You might not even see it, right? If you see it, it's going to be difficult, but if you don't see it, you're okay. And then next up, we have Credilli in the lead with Jellicent and Drapion, Shadow, especially the Shadow one. I don't have a good Shadow one, so if you don't have a good Shadow one, I still think it's worth it. Great safe swap for sure in this meta. And then next up, we have Giratina in the lead. You could use a different Ghost type, like Dusknoir if you want to. Try that out, but it's not as bulky, of course, with Blastoise and Feraligatr. I think both of those Pokemon can work as safe swaps in the back. And then next up, we have Galarian Weezing, or the Shadow version with Runerikus and Malamar. So I did say Runerikus is going to be pretty good with the Shadow Claw. I think that's going to be a pretty good Pokemon to use. I guess with Rock Tomb as well. Absolutely fantastic. And then the final team is Double Grass with Venusaur and Credilli, and then Grumpig in the lead. But let me know what you think of these teams. Let me know which league you plan on playing, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.